Kyle is opening up about grieving without Mauricio. We've got Leah McSweeney that's on display. We got a new podcast announcement. It was a weekend, guys, so get ready. Let's get it. Oh, hi, it's me, Zack Peter, pop culture junkie, reality TV insider, published author, and host of the No Filter with Zack Peter podcast. Here I'll bring you all the latest news on the Real Housewives, deep dives into celebrity legal scandals, and unfiltered combos with your favorite stars. I've got you covered. And yes, I always keep receipts. So be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for all the latest tea. Now, let's dive in. What up? Happy Monday, everybody in the club. Oh, I feel like I'm puffy today. You know, you have a puffy. Okay, I am puffy. I'm looking at myself in the camera right now, and I'm puffy, but we're just going to roll with it. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I had a good weekend. I got to spend a lot of time with my family, spend some time with my dad. So it was a good weekend, and now I'm ready to get back to all this tea. I'm ready to be back and at it. You know who's also back and at it? Rocky Bang Bang has resurfaced. She made her first public appearance, you guys. Didn't see that coming. I thought she was done. Remember, she was frolicking in the meadows, and she's like, I went and I got therapy, and I'm healed, and I'm a better person. And I'm just like, oh, okay, I thought we were done with her, right? She was like, I'm done with Tom, but not anymore. She's back. She made her first red carpet appearance, and she announced her podcast, which is called Rachel Goes Rogue. I mean, she already went rogue in Ariana's bedroom. Like, we saw you go rogue. You went rogue on FaceTime. Ariana found the video. Okay, so I don't know what you're talking about, but she's back at it. Back at it again with the white bands. Back at it again to get your husbands. She went to, what was it, an iHeartRadio? She went to something. I honestly don't pay much attention to her, but I just saw that she was back. Well, I mean, I guess she's out again because she has to promote this new podcast, which is coming in, I believe, mid-January. Some people are thinking it was an iHeart. What was it? It was an iHeart event. It was 2023 Jingle Ball. Didn't Kiss FM used to do Jingle Ball, and now it's iHeartRadio? Kiss FM used to do Jingle Ball. That's why I was getting it confused. But anyway, she went out. She has to promote her new podcast, and Bethenny isn't doing anything for her. So at least it's with iHeart, which iHeart also just announced another podcast. They're trying to do all the podcasts right. They just announced 2 Jersey Jays with Jackie Goldschneider and Jen Fessler. We're like literally just trying to copy 2 T's in a pod, which, I mean, great. It was successful. I don't know if Jackie and Jen are going to be as successful as 2 T's in a pod, but I mean, what do you think? Are you more excited for 2 Jersey Jays? I think it's a cute name. I just don't think these two have enough pull. Like, Jen is too new for anybody to like have a strong fan base with her, and not a lot of people like Jackie. Maybe all the tree huggers will now go and support Jackie now that Jackie's a tree hugger herself, and she's hanging on to that tree stump. But I don't know. Is anybody excited for 2 Jersey Jays or Rachel Goes Rogue? Do we even, like, what is she going to have to say? Is she now going to talk about Scandal? It's been a year. You went to therapy, and if you're healed and done, I've said all this a million times. I don't want to go back into some people like, you're mean to her. Stop, you misogynist. Oh, let me clutch my pearls. If you forgave Sandoval, why can't we forgive Rachel? Sandoval has a podcast too, and you didn't drag him. Listen, I've dragged him plenty. Rachel just keeps making really dumb decisions. That's why I drag her. And so I'm a champion of women, and Rachel is not. Rachel does not support women. She supports their men, and she'll take your man, hide your husbands, hide your kids, hide your wife. Rachel out here getting everybody. Okay. Well, Rachel's back at it. Back at it again, coming for your husband. But let's talk about Kyle, because Kyle's opening up about grief. And I've seen some people post some things, and it's not ideal because I have a lot of feelings about it. So there was this Instagram account called your Bish therapist. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. But anyway, your Bish. Hey, Bish. She went and she posted, I guess, her hot take on Kyle and what Kyle's going through now that we're seeing this all play out on Kyle's so manipulative. That's where I'm going to draw the line. I wouldn't say that Kyle is manipulative because I think grief is a very real thing. And I don't like how people are. Let me read this and then I'll get into it. But so your Bish therapist posted this on Instagram, which Kyle reposted. Okay. Your Bish therapist says, this is my intuition about what was and is happening with Kyle. I believe she experienced depression and anxiety following the suicide of her best friend, Lorene. This loss was significant due to the closeness of the relationship and the nature of her death. Losing someone as a result of a mental health crisis will rock your world and, in some cases, your sense of self. I believe Kyle is experiencing survivor's guilt and carrying shame and blame that isn't hers to carry. After this loss, I believe she expected emotional support from Mo and that he was incapable and unwilling to provide. I think this left Kyle feeling disappointed, resentful, and betrayed due to her years of commitment and dedication to the marriage. I believe Kyle felt so many intensely painful and scary emotions that she realized she needed to do something with it, and she desperately wanted to avoid unhealthy coping mechanisms due to her family history of addiction. Kyle then reposted this, and Kyle said, please click on this and swipe through these posts. Everyone knew I was dealing with this. For whatever reason, it wasn't shown on camera yet. This will be addressed very soon. However, I do believe Mo tried to be there for me, although I'm not sure anyone knew exactly how to be. So, that said, um, I agree with this to a degree, right? I believe she was. Listen, loss and grief will really rattle you. I think it messes with your head. It messes with your sense of self. I remember when I was going through the grieving process back in 2021 when I lost my grandmother. And then even when we found out my dad had cancer, like that's come with its own waves of grief and me trying to, make sense of it. And it really does rattle your world. I remember when we first found out about his diagnosis, like I was going a little cuckoo crazy. Like I was like, I'm not ready to go through another really big loss. I'm not ready to go through grief. Now, neither of these are suicide. So I think that adds an additional layer. Obviously, Lorene, she recognizes as somebody that's very close to her and somebody that she cares about very deeply, that will rattle you. And I think she didn't know how to deal with that. And this is when you need your partner to be there for you. And I think I think he tried to be there for her, sure, but he's working. He's building the agency. He's buying Beverly Hills. Kyle also just came off a really intense season of Beverly Hills last season with Kathy, and Kathy was icing her out. So I think, wow, some of the live chat comments, you guys are making me sick to my stomach with the things that you're saying, because you're literally talking about somebody that is grieving the loss of someone that committed suicide. I'm just saying, can we have a little bit of empathy on a Monday morning? Because as I'm reflecting on my own grief, it's bringing up that emotion and kind of taking me back to the place that I was in. And again, I can't compare that to Kyle because I don't know what it's like to lose somebody to, suicide. Because you start to have guilt, I would imagine. I've never been through it, but I would imagine you start to go through this guilt of like, did I check on them enough? Did I know that there were issues? Was I being a good enough friend? Was I being a good enough support system? Were there signs that I didn't see before? So I don't think that Kyle is being manipulative in this. I think everybody, why is it okay for everybody to think that she had a midlife crisis or is suddenly trying to become a lesbian, but nobody wants to acknowledge that maybe grief was an element to it as well? Empathy is not hard to give, guys. We can just take a moment, take a breath, take ourselves out of reality TV land, take ourselves out of a storyline for a reality show, and remember that human beings go through real things, and real things come with marital issues. Um, Real things come with like grieving and loss, and these are all very real things. Um, it's not the grief it's going public about Mo. No, I think that's probably the final straw for her. I think she's been emotionally unfulfilled in her marriage for a long time, and this was a time when she really needed someone, and that someone you want to be your husband or your life partner, and if they can't show up for you in this time, then I'm sure there are years of times where she was like, "You couldn't show up for me on all of this and all these other moments in the past when I really needed you, but your priority is the fucking agency. And that's what you want to focus on is your work. And I get it. Your work and your job gave us this money and they provided us with this life. But at the end of the day, like, you need people to be there for you when times get tough. And I just think that this is an element that we didn't really acknowledge, right? Everybody thought it's a midlife crisis. Everybody thought she's a later in life lesbian. Everybody thought, Mauricio never emotionally fulfilled her, like Alison Dubois predicted in season 1. We also saw Kyle watching back. She posted on her stories too that she was watching back season 1 of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I mean, I always thought it was Mauricio not fulfilling her knowing that her time on Beverly Hills is going to come to an end, the kids growing up and getting older. I think a lot of that is part of it, but I think grief is an element of what she was going through. I don't think any of those other things weren't as significant, but I think this was one of those pieces that was coming at a really heavy and intense time. So yeah, Oh, look at Ness Wall in the live chat is saying, Neswell says, I lost multiple friends to suicide and my best friend to addiction 8 days after I found out I was pregnant. The mind fuck is real. I didn't get off the couch for a solid week. Exactly. And she's living this out so publicly that I just think, again, empathy is not hard to have. I don't think that this is a storyline. I don't think that she's doing this for reality television. Like, she doesn't really need that at this point. I just think empathy goes a long way, guys. Even if it is, midlife crisis, triggered by grief, triggered by realizing she's in an emotionally unfulfilling marriage. Lots of different things I think can be true at the same time. So yeah. Ooh, looks like breaking news. What happened? Kim Kardashian is getting her own legal scripted series, executive produced by Ryan Murphy, where she will be the star for Hulu. Wow. This Queens of Bravo just tweeted that. Kim Kardashian. As we know, she's in American Horror Story right now. We saw the finale of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, or not Keeping Up with the Kardashians. We saw the finale of The Kardashians last week on Hulu, where it shows Kim acting in American Horror Story with Emma Roberts, which we know American Horror Story is produced by Ryan Murphy. So good for Kim. She's got her own scripted series. It's coming out. She's going to be the star. If you're watching it, it's actually a good, I mean, not that it's a good show, but she does a good job in American Horror Story. I think it's on break right now. Well, I think like there was the actor strike and the writer strike. Now that that's all been resolved, it's you know, it's time to move forward. But congrats to Kim Kardashian, like Kanye West used to call her, Kardashian. Kim Kardashian. Also coming next year, it was reported that the Pump Rules spinoff with Kristen and Jax and Brittany, that they're all going to be returning in, I think it's spring of 2024, which is interesting because I expected it to air in conjunction with the new season of Vanderpump Rules because they were shooting them at the same time. But I don't know. We'll see. I hope they don't make us wait until spring to watch it because we're ready now. We want to watch it now. I think it would have been good if they had like overlap between the spinoff and Vanderpump Rules. It also looks like it's not going to be on Peacock after all, and it might actually be airing on Bravo, but Bravo's just going to hold on to it. And I've been saying like Bravo's not many shows are in, or any shows in production right now. I don't think New York is in production. OC's not in production yet. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Bravo is going to do because we're running out of shows that are going to be airing in the spring. And if we don't have anything in production right now, then I don't know what we're going to do. So it does make a little more sense as to why they would be holding off on this. But like, I don't want them to hold off on this. I want them to do it now. I want them to release it now. Okay. That said, what should we move on to next? Should we talk about Leah McSweeney? oh God, oh my goodness, Leah McSweeney. She is really putting it all on display each and every day, every day, every day. Okay, but really quickly before we get into the Leah of it all, and we got some OC, some Real Housewives of Orange County news, some casting news. I got some names about some newbies, and so we'll talk about them. But anyway, I wanted to tell you guys about my latest wellness hack, and that's Dose for Your Liver. It's yummy and it's a great upgrade to your daily health routine. I like to take my dose shots in the morning. They're so delicious. They have turmeric in them, but it doesn't have like that really, it's not bitter, it's not sweet, it doesn't have any sugar in it though, but it's yummy. I like to think of it as like a nice healthy glass of orange juice. And my thing is, it's like, why wait for the new year when you can take like actionable steps right now to get yourself on track ahead of the new year? So unlike other wellness shots, Dose does not contain any of those standard juices or powders. It's formulated with organic herbs. It's vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and has 0 sugar. Dose for Your Liver is formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support your liver, like potent turmeric, milk thistle, dandelion, ginger. If you guys want to give it a try, I highly recommend you give Dose a try. They're so yummy. They come in a bottle. You pour it in a little shot glass that they give you, and you can just take like a shot. I drink it straight out of the bottle because sometimes I like to drink a little more than just a shot, but that's just me. But if you guys want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health, Dose is offering No Filter with Zack Peter listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your order. So go to dosedaily.co/nofilter and use code NOFILTER. That's dosedaily.co/nofilter and be sure to use code NOFILTER. 30% off your first order, guys. Go right now. Okay, let's talk about, do we want to start with OC or do we want to start with Leah McSweeney? Leah McSweeney is going hard. Okay, just get ready because it's a lot. So she, I guess, is ditching Housewives land. She's ditching reality TV. I heard she had like a second book deal, but we haven't heard anything about the new book. I know she has a new podcast, but I don't think anybody's listening to that. So sounds like she may need some dough. She may need a little cash money. And so boom, this was posted by the gay housewife on Instagram, or sorry, not on Instagram, on Twitter. The gay housewife on Twitter shared this, and it's Leah McSweeney. It's a photo from her new OnlyFans account. She just signed up for OnlyFans in November. So she has joined OnlyFans, and one of her first photos says, caption, "I love it from the back." And it's a photo of her. It looks like in her kitchen, and it's a selfie. It's a mirror shot selfie of her bending over the floor, booty out, for $15. So for $15, you can see Leah McSweeney's butthole. Not what I expected over the weekend, not how I expected to be discussing the news on Monday. Listen, I'm all about your sexual expression. You know that song, "Give me one margarita, I'ma open my legs. Give me 2 margaritas, I'ma give you some head. Give me 3 margaritas, I'ma put it in my puss. Give me 4 margaritas, I'ma put it in my tush." Well, Leah McSweeney had about 8 margaritas. I mean, my God, she's just joined OnlyFans and we've already gotten a full like colonoscopy. Normally you join OnlyFans and you're like, ooh, nipple tease, ooh, censored, you do what you got to do. But like, she is on display. That is just a whole on, we can see up her colon. I'm just like, oh my goodness, is this a liver cleanse? Because I don't know what we're doing up in here, Leah McSweeney. Leah Mob. She married to the mob and they put her on display. I don't it's a lot. It's like a lot to take in. Like, how do you even process that? Like, how is that what you start with? Like, how do you build from there when you're just doing your booty shots? I mean, a full on booty shot. This is just giving Reality Reckoning a whole new. She's like, if Bethenny can't wreck Bravo, then you can wreck me from behind. Whew, give me one margarita. Yes, she skipped the foreplay altogether. There was no nipple tease. There was no lingerie. It was just all the way. you know? She's like, "Give me all 12 inches." And you're like, "Whoa." It's just like, it makes me uncomfortable to even look at because it's just so crass, you know? So that's the photo that's been going around the internet. Again, her podcast must not be doing too hot if this is where we're at. Um, so now where's the tiki torch? It's up her booty. That's where the tiki torch is at. My goodness, you guys. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. I mean, I don't know if she's still suing Bravo. I know that was part of like the reality reckoning that she was trying to do. She wanted to she said that it took a toll on her mental health, which also, to be fair, sorry, the photo is just like jarring. I don't know if she's still suing them. She did talk about like her mental health really kind of going through it as a result of Bravo. So I get it, but at the same time, I'm also just like, is this a result of that? Like, because if you're trying to own your body and you're trying to be, embracing your sexuality, I'm all for that. I think good for you. Denise Richards is on OnlyFans. She's doing collabs with her daughter. Like, Denise is doing the damn thing, and at least she gives you a discount. You can get a bundle of Denise Richards for $7 on OnlyFans, as Erica informed us on the new season of Beverly Hills. But I just think $15 for a booty hole. Like once your booty's out there, like, I mean, I guess that's a bit of a deal. It's a good discount. But at the same time, I kind of feel bad. Like, this is just like a real fall from grace. I feel bad for her because this is just. Excuse me, Sky. Can y'all? I'm trying to record my podcast, and y'all are being so dramatic and so loud. Yeah, guys, don't get dogs. Don't get puppies. I love them. I love Sky and Sully very, very much, but they keep me busy for sure. So yeah, that's Leah McSweeney. If anybody has an extra spare 20, you could throw it her way because she's hurt. She must be hurting for cash. I think I saw that she was like posting and she was like, "Yeah, I made so much money in my first week," and she was like happy. But listen, good for her. I don't think she realized like her butthole was going to be, morning news on a Monday. No filter with Zack Peter. But it's just a bit much for me. Okay. But since we're talking about Leah and the reality reckoning, Bethenny, it's so funny. My friend Jess, she hosts Hot Takes and Deep Dives, and she also has the Finding Fire Island podcast, which if you guys haven't listened to that, definitely check out Finding Fire Island. It's a really good podcast. It gives you like the history of Fire Island. But so she sent me this article by The Cut, which was an interview that they did with Bethenny, where they basically drag her. It's really funny because in the article, the author acknowledges that the publicist, Bethenny's publicist, arranged for this interview, and that this interview was supposed to be focused on Bethenny being a TikTok sensation. And so she's like, yeah, the publicist booked us so that we could focus on, Bethenny being an internet star. But like in reality, all she wanted to talk about was like Andy Cohen and how I guess they did this interview during BravoCon. And so Bethenny was like finding out that Andy was addressing her reality reckoning because he addressed it at BravoCon on stage. I think it was day one, where he's like, well, listen, everybody's here. Everybody's, the women are here and the fans are all here and everybody's showing up to support Bravo. So, and then Bethenny's like, that's not a real answer. What is that? That's a non-answer answer. And then she goes on to rant about Andy Cohen, and she like, the article is wild. I highly suggest you read it. Basically, it's a lot of it's focused on her reality reckoning, but I feel like the artist was trolling her. Sorry, not the artist. The author was trolling her because the author was also talking about how she like Bethany's referring to herself as Erin Brockovich, and the author's like she's like a self-proclaimed Erin Brockovich. Like I don't know who's referring to her as Erin Brockovich, but Bethenny definitely thinks she's Erin Brockovich, and how it's very brave of her. How Bethenny acknowledges that it's very brave of her to be doing what she's doing, saving all the housewives. I don't know. It's funny. The quotes in the article and just the way the author basically like talks about how Bethenny is very much into Bethenny And I'm very curious what the publicist thought of the article once it came out, because they do kind of talk about Bethenny, because she did a what did she make? She made something with a baked potato. Baked potato. She made it for the author. She did her TikTok. She filmed her TikTok while the author from The Cut was there in her kitchen. Doesn't acknowledge her, but does her TikTok where she makes a baked potato and she puts cottage cheese in it, because she's like, oh my god, people on the street now will pull me aside just to talk about cottage cheese and how she's selling, because of her, cottage cheese is selling out all around the world. And so she made her a baked potato with cottage cheese in it, and then she put caviar on top. And, it's just, give me one baked potato, I'm going to show you my tits. Give me 2 baked potatoes, I'm going to show you my clit. So I don't know what Bethenny has accomplished with this reality reckoning other than a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo. But if you haven't read the article, it's great. It's a great Monday morning read. And I suggest you do it, because Bethenny gets red for filth in like a nice way. Like the author was like, this is my day with Bethenny Frankel, and really lays into Bethenny Frankel, as she should, because we're over it. Okay, let's talk about Real Housewives of Orange County, because we've got some newbies in the mix. So as of right now, it looks like all the ladies are returning, minus Taylor Armstrong, who announced that she would not be returning. I believe they're saying it was her decision to not return for the new season. Sure. But we have some newbies. So the first one that's been going around is this woman, Katie Janela. Lives in Newport Beach, seemingly very wealthy, beautiful Asian woman. Or she has great hair. My God, I'm looking at her hair on her Instagram right now, and it's just like, I mean, it may be a little Facetune. I always get, I'm just looking, like, she has like just great, full, voluminous hair. She's got a gorgeous view in her apartment. But so we have Gina, or sorry, not Gina, Katie Janella. Her Instagram describes her as a mama to 4 perfect little people and a Waffle House addict. Georgia, living in Southern California. She's a Georgia peach living in Southern California. Okay, so we get a little bit, I mean, that's a bit of a mix. We're adding a little diversity to the cast. She comes from Georgia, so we're going to have some good Southern values that are in the mix as well. I'm here for it. I don't love that she loves Waffle House. You guys know how I feel about Waffle House. Not a fan, but all right. First newbie joining the mix next season. And then we also have Heather Tuck. She's a real estate agent. Her Instagram says everything luxuries. She's from San Juan Capistrano. She's an Orange County realtor. And her Instagram has a lot of photos of her homes, $4.2 million home listed, $3 million in escrow in San Juan Capistrano. Wow, she's got a lot of really good listings. So she's making money, honey. She's like, what is the agency? I'm not an agency. I'm with Orange Coast Real Estate. I'm an all-star. Oh, she's an all-star realtor of 2021. Well, good for you, Heather Tuck. Again, adding a little more diversity to the cast, living her best life. Okay, I'm here for it. We got some newbies. Breaking news, heard it here first. They're the 2 ladies that are set to be joining the new season of Real Housewives of Orange County, which I believe is going to be going into production in the new year. I don't believe they're filming through the holidays, but they will be gearing up again soon. And everybody minus Taylor Armstrong, I believe, is returning. To what capacity, I don't know yet. I don't even know if either of these newbies are joining full-time or they're just joining as friends up. I would imagine they're going to start as friends up before they eventually get picked up full-time, which has kind of been Bravo's new model, is let's see how they do, how they perform, how they mesh, and then if it goes well, then we'll upgrade them to full-time. So, all right, let's get it. Let's get it. No, yeah. Taylor Armstrong is not much of a loss. I don't think anybody's really going to be missing her. She had her chance, and then she really went cuckoo crazy at the finale party where she just came at Heather, and it was just weird and awkward and uncomfortable. And yeah, tis what it is. Oh, what about Jesus Jugs? Oh, I mean, I'm hearing Jesus Jugs is talking to Bravo. That's Alexis Bellino. I'm hearing that that would be great. I would love to. I keep saying we need to bring I never watched when Alexis was on, but I would love to see her on solely to troll Shannon. Like Shannon's going to go through it again after the DUI. She's going to have to go through that, and she's probably going to come in very humble. She's now on the outs with Tamara. Tamara was just at the Variety Women in Reality Television event, and Tamara was with Eddie, and she was on the red carpet, and she says that because I believe it was Lauren Herbert from Access Hollywood. She's like, who's on your nice list and who's on your naughty list this Christmas? And she's like, on my nice list is everybody, but on my naughty list is Shannon. Because I guess Shannon did something that Tamara's not happy about. And so here we are. Here we are. Everyone's talking about Josh in the live chat and how excited he's going to be for the OC newbie because she loves the Waffle House and he has his Waffle House slides. We don't encourage bad decisions here, guys. So we're not going to acknowledge those terrible Waffle House slides that he got from Walmart. Waffle House is an experience. It's not about the food. I've been to Waffle House one time. I was on. We were going from. So you guys know I've known Jenny McCarthy for. Let's see, 13 years at this point. And her husband is Johnny Wahlberg. And I remember there was one time where we were traveling from New York. We were in New York. There was a New Kids on the Block concert on Coney Island. And so we went from New York to Hershey, Pennsylvania, because there was a music festival that New Kids was going to be performing at. So we took a tour bus from New York, which can you imagine a giant tour bus just like going through the streets of Manhattan? Took the tour bus to Hershey, Pennsylvania. And of course, on the way, Johnny loves Waffle House. So we stopped at Waffle House. Oh my God, where's that photo? I had a photo of it too, of us in front of Waffle House. And it was just, oh, what a time to be alive. Went to Waffle House for the first time. It was an experience for sure. There weren't many things that we could eat there. Because like, let me see if I have the photo. It was just an experience for sure. Oh wait, here is the photo. Oh, I found it. This is the only time you will ever find me at a Waffle House. Normally you can find me at Jason's. But we took a photo outside of the Waffle House and it was an experience for sure. Look at that's me. Give me one margarita. That's me. You give me one margarita and I'm going to end up at Waffle House. Look at this is me. Back in the day, that's me. There's Johnny. So, yeah. What a time to be alive. So, yes, I have proof that I've actually been to Waffle House one time in my life, and I have no interest of going back anytime soon. So, yeah. Give me 8 margaritas and maybe you'll catch me at Waffle House. Or not. I don't think I ever need to go back to a Waffle House. I don't get what people like love about it so much. Like the food was so mediocre. I don't even remember what I ate. I think I just got like eggs and like I don't know, some potatoes. I really don't remember. Wasn't Lana Del Rey working at a Waffle House recently? All right. Well, I think that's all I got for you. Anything else that I missed? I don't think so. We are living life. We talked about Raquel. We talked about the new podcast. We talked about Kyle. Yeah, I think we covered everything, you guys. Raquel, Pump Roll spinoff. Kim Kardashian's new show. You go, Kimmy. Give me one margarita. I'ma open my legs. Give me 2 margaritas. I'ma give you some head. Give me 3 margaritas. I'ma put it in my puss. Give me 4 margaritas. I'ma put it in my tush. So if anybody wants to go and support Leah McSweeney, she keeps a little cash right now. Throw a little 15 her way and get a full booty hole. Booty, 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 rocking everywhere, rocking everywhere, rocking everywhere. I found you, Miss New Booty. Never in my life. Like, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to post something and be like, today's episode, booty holes, Waffle House, and Raquel. and Rachel. The return of Rachel, Waffle House, and booty holes. And that's the topic of conversation for and grief. Just those 4 things out of context. Rachel Leviss, booty holes, Waffle House, and grief. You can put them together and figure it all out. All right. Well, I guess that's all I got for you guys. I'll be back tomorrow and every other day this week. No Filter with Zack Peter. New episodes stream live at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time on YouTube and immediately get uploaded to the podcast right after. So get ready, y'all. All new episode will drop tomorrow. Oh, I love it. Now that we have finished recording, now the boys have decided that they're going to settle down and go to sleep and take a little nap. Ay. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday. I will be doing a Real Houses of Miami and Southern Charm recap on Tuesday with Chelsea Stark-Jones for the Ringer Reality TV podcast. I will be doing my regular Salt Lake City recap with Josh on Wednesday evening. And bonus episode for members will stream live on Thursday night and will be uploaded for No Filter Plus members on Apple Podcasts on Friday. So have a great rest of your Monday, guys. I love you. I appreciate you. Yes, I am having this week has already started off I had a good weekend. Last week was very challenging, but you roll through, you work on you. And I did. I worked on me. I did a lot of inner self-reflection and looked at some of, my own shit in the mirror. Not like Leah McSweeney though, but you just got to look inward and work through some stuff and heal. And that's what I did over the weekend. So thank you for the grace that you guys gave me. Give me a follow, just plain Zack, if you want to keep up with me. Follow the podcast at No Filter with Zack, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye.